Who was Balaam? Once upon a time, in a land far away from the Israelites, there lived a prophet named Balaam. He was known for his power to bless or curse, and people sought his words from all around. Though Balaam was not an Israelite, he had a connection to God, who sometimes spoke directly to him. One day Balak, the king of Moab, grew fearful as he saw the Israelites approaching his land. They were vast, like a great sea covering the earth. Balak had seen what the Israelites did to other nations, and he feared he would be next. So he thought, perhaps if Balaam curses them, I can defeat them. Balak sent messengers with rich gifts to persuade Balaam, saying, Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Numbers 22:6 KJV. That night Balaam prayed, and God spoke to him, saying, Thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. Numbers 22:12 KJV. Balaam told the messengers, The Lord refuseth to give me leave to go with you. Numbers 22:13 KJV, and sent them back to Balak with the message. But Balak was determined. He sent even more important officials with promises of greater rewards, urging Balaam to come and curse the Israelites. When they arrived, Balaam answered, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God, to do less or more. Numbers 22:18 KJV. But he was tempted by the offer, so he asked the messengers to stay another night to see if God would give him new instructions. That night God said to Balaam, If the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them, but yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that shalt thou do. Numbers 22:20 KJV. So Balaam saddled his donkey and set out with the Moabite princes. On the journey, however, God sent an angel to stand in the way. Balaam couldn't see the angel, but his donkey could, and she turned aside into a field. Balaam struck her to get back on the path. Then the angel stood in a narrow place, and the donkey pressed against a wall, crushing Balaam's foot. Enraged, Balaam struck her again. Finally, the angel stood in a place so narrow the donkey couldn't pass. She lay down under Balaam, and in his anger he hit her a third time. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she said, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? Balaam, too angry to realize the miracle before him, argued with her, Because thou hast mocked me. I would there were a sword in mine hand, for now would I kill thee. God then opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel with a drawn sword. The angel said, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. Humbled, Balaam replied, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me. The angel allowed him to continue, but reminded him, Only the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. Numbers 22:35 KJV. When Balaam finally reached Balak, the king eagerly asked him to curse the Israelites. Balaam instructed him to build 7 altars and offer sacrifices. But each time Balaam attempted to curse Israel, God filled his mouth with blessings. As Balaam spoke, he said, How shall I curse whom God hath not cursed, or how shall I defy whom the Lord hath not defied? Instead of curses, he declared, Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it. Balak grew frustrated, saying, Tanku, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. Yet Balaam could only reply, All that the Lord speaketh, that I must do. A third time Balak tried to have Balaam curse Israel, but again Balaam blessed them, prophesying even greater things. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. In the end, Balaam was sent away without reward. Though he had obeyed God's words, his heart was still drawn to the riches Balak had offered. Later, Balaam advised Balak to lead the Israelites into sin, knowing it would anger God. And so Balaam's legacy became a warning to others not to turn aside from God's will for the sake of greed or temptation. The story of Balaam teaches that even those gifted with spiritual insight must remain true. lest they fall into temptation and stray from God's path. As the Bible says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." 1 Timothy 6:10, KJV. Balaam's life serves as a reminder to be faithful to God even when faced with great temptation. Continue watching for more. Subscribe and be blessed.